Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well this Tuesday morning. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. If you haven't done so already, make sure you do check out the Elevate Traders Discord channel, completely free to join. Link to that at the top of the chat and also in the description below. You cannot miss it. Join the Discord, chat with other traders, including myself, look at different trading opportunities, connect with other traders, and of course, you can find your discount opportunities there for your next Elevate Traders Challenge as well. So if you are interested in that, make sure you go check it out. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is well. What's up, Tony Gold? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Welcome. As always, guys, any markets you're looking at, feel free to let us know. But yeah, we'll start with the USD markets as always, because that's kind of where we're seeing a lot of momentum. Actually, we're seeing across the board really, but USD seems to be moving. We start with the DXY. And yeah, dollar looks very, very bullish at the moment. We're still seeing price create higher prices, still seeing price push a lot higher. We're still trading in that zone where I do think we can find some resistance and see some downside, but it does look like price is trying to break through. So this is the area I'm looking at, seeing some downside from. And of course, we've got the trend lines there, first, second, and third lower high. Excuse me, it looks like price is trying to break through that and see some upside. Yeah, definitely a lot of volume at the moment, Tony Gold from the US. Yeah, at the moment, definitely seeing a lot of movement. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this progresses throughout the week. We still got CPI tomorrow. So that's going to be an interesting event. But at the moment, it's definitely safe to say that USD is very, very strong. Now, I'm looking to see what we do in this area because we have seen a lot of momentum. But this is where the market has found a lot of resistance in the past. And we have seen a lot of lower highs here. First, second, third, is this going to be our fourth? Is this going to be a big wick by the end of the week? Or are we going to see a strong close and the market's going to keep pushing higher? This, for me, is still bearish territory. So I won't be looking at continuations of that USD strength, at least for my trading. Again, if you're in the lower time frames, you can still take advantage of some shorter term opportunities. But strictly speaking, on the higher time frames, this is where I do expect sellers to step in. And if they don't, and if buyers still are proving strong and price does break to the upside, of course, I'll reanalyze that and possibly we might be seeing a big break for USD and some upside, possibly back to that swing high in the near future or sometime in the future, maybe not near future. But you guys get my point. If you do break through this, I will look to, switch around that bias. But for now, this is still where the sellers will be sitting, and we'll see if they are strong enough to reject price. At the moment, not really seeing much sign of that, to be honest. We're still seeing a lot of momentum, and price does look very, very bullish on the daily chart, 4-hour chart, and in the intraday charts as well. But because where we're situated, it's not really bullish territory, so I won't be looking at continuing that USD momentum. But if I do see a sustained break, that will be a sign that, okay, maybe USD strength is here to stay, and maybe we're going to see a big breakout of that big range that USD has been doing for a while. And of course, Euro USD has been kind of ranging in a similar fashion. Of course, looking pretty bearish right now. So possibly we can see USD continue to push higher and Euro USD continue to fall. You can see there is a big area here, which I'm looking for price to bounce from. Again, not really seeing much evidence of that happening. There is a low down here, which could come and retest. So there are some deeper targets for us to push into 1.05. But again, if I'm going to look to short Euro USD, I need to see a sustained pullback. If I drop to the 4-hour chart, this is not bearish territory for me. Bullish territory. No, it is bearish territory. Not bearish territory for me as we come back into that swing low. I need price to push up, maybe back into that high over there, see some resistance, and then speak about some shorts. And that could be really a swing trade there. But at the moment, still coming into a major low, not really a place for me to sell, especially when the market is quite stretched as well. But I'm going to take shorts here. I need price to at least pull back, and of course USD to pull back as well. But yeah, Euro USD is looking very, very bearish. I still do think we can bounce, but it may just be a bounce for us to continue falling. So keep that in mind. Pound USD, last time I looked, was looking pretty bearish as well. Yes, bit of a move to the downside. Still kind of trading inside this descending channel, so I'm not convinced quite yet. But overall, the market is still very corrective. It looks like price is trying to break through that daily level, however, and if we do succeed, that could be the catalyst for a lot more downside. So I was looking at this daily high for a bounce, which we did kind of see, but it hasn't really mounted to much, and now it looks like price is trying to break through. So if we keep that up, yeah, this will be the next low I'll be looking at, around 1.26802. So in my book, could see pound USD fall another 100, 150 pips to the downside as well, especially if we come back for the retest of that same area. If we can do something like this, reject that same area, another lower high, just kind of stay within that confinements of the channel, we're probably likely to keep falling. Looking at Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar, these guys look pretty bearish to be. Yeah, it's still looking pretty bearish. Again, still looking for these guys to push back into the daily lows down here, which is 0.64. I expect that's where the bigger move is going to be for Aussie dollar, back into 0.64, as we've been rejecting the high of the range very, very well. This is where I'm expecting us to come back into the low of the range. Essentially, looks like price is on its way. We've had a nice retest of this low on the left, and price has just used that to its advantage. And now it looks like we're continuing. So there could be some nice shorts if we were to come back and retest that same area, or possibly some break and retest underneath that low. Again, the market's still a bit stretched, so not really the type of trade for me, but some intraday opportunities could look good. If the market does have a really nice break, pullback, that could be a nice opportunity on the lower time frames. And as the USD is similar vibe as well, but I think this one's a bit too close to the low maybe for some shorts. So I'm looking for price to get into this level. So it might be a little bit of a tight squeeze if you're looking for some breaking retest of the low, since the level is not too far away from us. But again, I do expect NZD to keep falling. 0.588 is where I expect us to end up. And then maybe from there we see a big bounce, and maybe USD goes for a bit of a breather. But at the moment, it's still looking bearish, and probably we'll see another drop there. If we take a look at gold, so gold, last time I checked, was looking very, very bearish. Yeah, look at that, very, very bearish. So that completely obliterated that level there. I was looking at 2640, no nonsense, and it's actually broken through that low there as well. And I said yesterday I'll still remain bullish from gold if we stay above that low, which is at 2609. And now it looks like we've broken through that. So I'm definitely gonna have to put a pause to that bullish bias in gold, and I will be expecting to see a deeper correction now. Again, it's not to say that gold longer term isn't going to go up. Most likely is, but the market is still pretty stretched. Now that we've broken structure, this to me opens up the door for sustained movements to the downside, and then maybe we see another bullish cycle maybe at some point next year. But I do think if we were to see some upside now for gold, it's probably going to put a lower high in and probably see some more downside. And I especially like the momentum of gold. It's not like we've kind of slowly correctively fallen and broken the low. We've hit some heavy, big impulsive bearish candles, and we've really seen a lot of momentum here. So it looks good. If gold does pull back, I would expect to see some downside going into the future. So if I just clean up the chart a little bit, if you can get a retest of the low here, I think that's a really nice place to start looking for some shorts, or above that area anyway. But yeah, I'll be expecting more downside for gold. However, silver, I'm still having a bullish bias, although I might not be looking to push the trade too far anymore. This is still really where I want to go long. It's not quite there yet, but I will look for a bounce at this area. And again, it might just be a push back into this level around 32.3. And then it might just continue falling. This might form into a, did not mean to do that. This might form into a really big head and shoulder pattern. So you've got the left, you've got the head, and you've got the right shoulder there. And possibly might see a bit more downside as well. Because of course, gold and silver do the same thing. So if I'm going to look to long silver, and gold's going to continue falling, it's probably not going to go too far. But if I can get moved back into the high there, that still looks like a good trade to be. And we'll see. But yeah, still looking at buys there for silver. Gold, not anymore. With that break of structure, and to me that means that gold might see a lot more downside now. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with USD strength is very, very impressive right now, and that has translated to quite a few markets across the board. So let's see if that does sustain. What's up, Ben? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Is the top for gold? I don't know about top. I mean top for the year. Yeah, I doubt we'll probably see price go take out that high this year now. I don't think it's a top overall, and I don't think you think that either. It may be the top before the next kind of big counter trend. Um, maybe something, maybe not as big as this, but maybe a bigger correction that could take maybe a couple of months to form before we do see a bigger push. So I do think that could be the case because especially how aggressive we sold off, and now they're taking out that low as well. So yeah, I would expect this to be now a major high for gold, go through a bit of a bearish, structure counter trend move, maybe a bit of consolidation as well with gold. We haven't consolidated for a while, so we might see a bit of that now, and then yeah, maybe we eventually go take out that high. But yeah, I do think we'll see a deeper pullback. Okay, top before 15-20% pullback. Yeah, possibly. I mean, let me measure that. Oh, that's the wrong one. So 15% pullback would take us here, 20% pullback take us there. So yeah, I think that's safe. That's a good bet, I would say. Reckon between 10 and 20% you'll probably see a pullback to that length, really. And we still have this high over here. I don't think we'll come back and retest it, but we had a really big build up of consolidation here, and I was expecting price to break and retest this, but I never did. I'm not too sure gold will come back and retest that, which is around 2K. I think that's a really big drop, and that really does like evaporate all our gains for the whole year, really, if the market comes back down and retests that. But I think there's a good chance we could come back to this area here potentially, or just form a prolonged consolidation and then eventually push up. So, but yeah, I do think it's some type of top here for gold. I would agree. Yeah, crypto bull run is insane. Crypto is definitely not messing around at all right now. At all. We'll definitely take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think Bitcoin hit 90K. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Bitcoin's not messing around at all today. What's up, CS Integrated? Hope you're doing good. Good morning. Yeah. There's two streams, Ben. There's one on the ET YouTube channel. There's one on this one, but it's the exact same stream, of course. But yeah, potentially next year, Tom. Potentially. What's up? Follow the trend. Welcome to the stream. Thoughts on Euro pounds, longs from current levels. Okay, we'll take a look at that one as well. Holy one, what's up? Pound Seed Chef. Okay, broken the rules. Okay. 7 bits from TP yesterday. Nice. Congratulations on that trade. But yeah, not every trade is going to follow the book anyway. But as long as it's still fitting the confinements of your plan, see it through. Heavily bearish on metals at the moment, Tom. Yeah, I mean, we are seeing a lot of momentum at the moment, aren't we? I haven't actually looked at like other metals like platinum or copper yet. What's up, FX Wolf? Hope you're doing good. Euro yen, looking at shorts. Okay, I'll go through some pairs. I'll take a look at Bitcoin, and then I'll take a look at your Euro yen opportunity. If anyone else wants to take a look at a certain pair, let me know. But yeah, Bitcoin absolutely flying high. Absolutely flying high. I think we did hit 90K. Ooh, did we? We may have just about, yeah, more or less just about spiked into it, or maybe missed it by like $1. But anyway, yeah, Bitcoin pretty much 90K. So very, very interesting times now for Bitcoin. And now the next stop is 100K. It would be rude for Bitcoin not to do 100K now. If it was to get to 90K and then start to go through another bearish cycle, yeah, that'll be a bit anticlimactic. So I do think Bitcoin will probably go and hit that 100K mark pretty soon. Probably by the end of the year, we can expect that. I mean, could be by the end of the week, to be honest. Bitcoin in this current momentum. But yeah, I think naturally just expecting more upside. I think if you're looking to trade Bitcoin, you're just looking at the buys, any kind of decent dips you see, it's probably going to be an opportunity to take price high because as we said with Bitcoin, it's all about momentum. You know, when Bitcoin gets going, it really gets going. So, you know, when it does pick up its pace, it's just kind of you buying, 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 buying. Yeah, I'm speaking about trading, not necessarily investing, but when you're trading it, you're kind of just buying, following that momentum. And then when we start to kind of lose that momentum and start to consolidate, that's probably when we want to take a break and stop looking to actively buy Bitcoin in terms of trading it. But the momentum picks up again, you know, that's the time to start looking to buy. So if you do see dips, pullbacks, of course, you have to be looking at your low time frames for that. You know, that's the opportunities you're looking at. But yeah, in terms of 100K, it's probably most likely going to be hit at some point this year. It could even be some point this week, to be honest. But yeah, very, very bullish stuff. Ethereum looking pretty bullish. Ethereum still got a long way to go, to be honest. It's nowhere near the all-time highs. Of course, it's done a pretty big move past couple of weeks, but all-time highs is all up there around 4,800 or just above that. And we're still trading around 350. So we still got a long way to go to get back to the highs. I think in terms of risk reward, Ethereum might be a nice one to look at. But Bitcoin is the leader. If Bitcoin keeps pushing, breaking new highs, I do expect other cryptos to follow suit as well. But yeah, at the moment, yeah, Bitcoin is looking exceptionally bullish right now and not really showing signs of slowing down. So I would only be expecting price to continue going higher. But yeah, really, really nice momentum there. Looking very, very bullish. We'll take a look at that Euro Yen. Okay, we'll take a look at dollar yen as well. Okay, you mean just gold? Okay. Currently long in dollar yen. Okay, we'll take a look, Devon. No problem. Yeah, true. Dogecoin is actually flying as well. Dogecoin is doing 2-3x. Bitcoin hasn't done anything close to that, to be honest. It's gone from what 70 something K, 60 something K to 80K, which is like a 30% increase or something like that. But yeah, Dogecoin is absolutely flying as well. At major resistance. Okay, well, I'll go through Euro Yen first, and then I'll take a look at your dollar yen position. So Euro JPY, FX Wolf, you said you're looking for shorts. Okay, so yeah, Euro JPY is still at that area where I'm kind of waiting to just for a little bit more downside because, as you can see, this is the level which I have my concerns about in the higher time frames. Is price breaking through this? Is price respecting this? Depending on what we are doing, it will make up my buys for the next few weeks, at least to the end of the year. Anyway, because I'm looking at left head and possible right shoulder. If the market is going to hold onto this, there's a lot of room for us to push right back down into. So if that's the case, because we did see a pretty bearish close last week, didn't really close right underneath confidently. That would have been nice to see, but it looks like we're leaning towards that direction. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on some shorts there for Euro Yen. If we do hold this 164 area, there's a lot of room for us to fall down into. So if we do drop to the 4-hour time frame, we're starting to see price develop like that. So basically what I'm looking for is more sustained bearish momentum, and then I'll start to look at my pullbacks. It would be nice if we can see a break of this low here, since that was the low that gave us the last push to the upside. So if we can break that structure, that'll be great, and then find pullbacks afterwards. Excuse me. And then yeah, I mean, there's multiple areas we can look to target, but essentially, I would expect us to eventually come back to this low, 155, 500 in the long run. But yeah, if we can see a bit more downside, a confident break, that's really what I'm looking for. Because right now it looks like we are trying to break through, but it's not quite confirmed yet. So we can see a drop like this week. That'd be great. And I'll be looking at pullbacks afterwards. And I think there's a lot of downside to be had. And we could be looking at similar moves for all the yen pairs, really. But yeah, I'm looking for shorts for Euro Yen as well. Unless we have insanely bullish week and it looks like we're retesting, then the following week I will reanalyze and go from there. But if we keep falling, then I do think we'll really keep falling. And 155, 500 is where we're likely to head towards, but I still need a little bit more before I get into any shorts for Euro Yen. But it's slowly getting there. UJ still looking bullish. I was talking about this low here. It's a very similar opportunity as with Euro Yen. If I go to the higher time frame, the weekly chart, you can see we've got this major level of resistance, which again, I'm looking to see prices going to hold as resistance or break through and then potentially use it as support. At the moment, difficult to say. I know we're looking pretty bullish this week, but it's still Tuesday. A lot can happen between now and the end of the week. And if you look at the two prior weekly candles, both dojis, both representing, a lot of indecision. So it's unclear whether we are, actually really breaking through this or prices, seeing indecision and maybe getting ready to close bearish. So I have marked out this level on the 4-hour chart, which kind of just which allows me to kind of focus on the lower time frames, what I'd be looking for. Because if we are going to have that sell off, you would expect price to break through that level, and then I can look for some shorts underneath. If we aren't going to break through the level and price is ready to break to the upside, then I expect price to hold it and continue create new highs this week and so on and so forth. At the moment, we are looking pretty bullish and looks like maybe price might push back into the high. Not really seeing an opportunity for myself to trade it, but yeah, it does look like that momentum is still intact. Where do you say you entered from? 152.455, 152. Okay, so somewhere around here. And where's your target? 154.497. So that's around here-ish. Okay, looking pretty good. I mean, in terms of the target, it's pretty reasonable. You're looking to target the price swing high. Given the situation of the market, we are seeing a healthy trend here, and you're still looking to stay in tune with that. So I can't definitely can't knock that. So yeah, I like the trade. I like the trade idea. We came back to retest some demand here. Prices reacted really well. And overall, we're looking to follow that bullish leg. So I think in terms of the intra-week kind of trade you're looking at here, I think the swing makes a lot of sense. I mean, we've had a lot of bullish momentum recently as well. But I think the target's in a realistic place. So yeah, I really like the trade. As you maybe stop loss to break even, or maybe are you trailing your stop loss? I made resistance on hourly, but the daily chart shows that it should hit TP. Okay, so are you talking about this resistance here? Looks like price is almost breaking through that. But yeah, momentum is looking good. I mean, again, the market can turn around suddenly. Um, it doesn't have to necessarily hit your take profit, but that comes down to your trade management. How you're looking to manage your trades. Do you trail stop losses? Do you take partials along the way? That's how you protect against, okay, price might not hit my take profit. It might suddenly reverse back to my entry, but my precautions were partials or my precautions were trading stop. Maybe you don't have precautions. Maybe you wanted to either hit your stop loss or your take profit. That's up to you to decide before you do take the trades. But in terms of analyzing momentum, it looks like a good chance we'll probably see price push to your target. I like the 4-hour close that just closed there. Some wicks to the downside and the strong close, breaking above that area there. So that tells me that the 4-hour is still seeing upside momentum and there's a good chance we could push back to that high. It's not too far away as well. So yeah, I think it looks good. Of course, see out the trade. Maybe if you see the next 4-hour candle close very bearish like this, that might be a sign that, okay, we are rejecting and maybe you can close out early. But you want to have ready a plan set of how you're going to manage the trade. Don't kind of want to do it spontaneously, or at least have a plan how you would do that, because most of the time you should be reacting to your emotions rather than making good decisions. But in terms of momentum, I think that's good. And I think the targets are good as well. So I'll just hold that trade out and yeah, expect it to hit take profit. And if not, maybe try to stop to protect against some downside. But it's looking good, I have to say. What's up? Follow the trend. Okay, yeah, Euro pound. I was supposed to take a look at Euro pound, wasn't I? So you said you're looking to buy Euro pound, if I'm not mistaken. What was your earlier message? Longs on current levels. Okay, so yeah, I'm expecting a bounce as well for Euro pound, but it's a bit tricky. This one, it's a bit tricky. I mean, I know on the monthly chart we're trading at a really, really big level. And again, you're going to be expecting a bounce here, at this level. Of course, we could break out, but I'd rather wait for price to break out first then I'll speak about the breakouts and maybe more downside. Because there's if we do break through this, there's a long way to go, and I'm expecting price to end up here. So there'll be a really nice trend if it does break, but we'll speak about that when it does happen. Right now, we're still at that level, and naturally, I'm still going to expect to bounce as we've done each time before. So longs look good in terms of where we're situated in the higher time frames, but I highly doubt any of us are trading on the monthly time frame. So bringing it back down to the lower charts, it does get a bit tricky because this was the support level I was discussing coming into the week. I said if we can come here, have a nice bounce at this level, I do think the buys will look good early next week. But we actually broke through, and price is actually trading underneath this as resistance, so to speak. So I would like to see price kind of break above that before looking for buys. Current level, I mean, I know we're coming into some areas here on the left. So that's 0.8272. That there's 0.8250. So the buys do look good. I would like it to be back above that 4-hour level, because if you're buying from here, it's great because you're not high time frame level. But you've got this level here to contend with. If we're above that, then yeah, I think we can make it back to those prices and maybe beyond as well. Because if we're really going to hold this monthly level, then we could see a lot of upside. So longing from the current level, I like it. Some nice big daily levels there. And of course, we're still in that overall monthly level as well. But the fact is, this morning we had a bit of a wick to the upside and we rejected that area pretty well too. So it's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. If it does break through the resistance here, that's a nice indication that maybe this move here was just a big fake out. We've got a lot of support here, fake out, break back above, and this becomes a really nice long opportunity, because this move here would have taken out a lot of liquidity underneath there. So now you're expecting that to be the catalyst to really get the ball rolling. So I think if you get back above 0.83, it's a safer trade. Not that you can't enter from here. It's just a little bit more risky. Should price do something like that, of course. This is less risky, but then you don't always get the retest, do you? And of course, the risk reward might look a lot better down here. But I think that will be a nice trade to take going forward. And targets, look at least to this level here. And maybe beyond, you can leave some positions to run. But yeah, I do like the longs here for euro pounds and the higher time frames. I think there's a big move to be had, but it'd be nice if we were trading back above 0.83 there and using that as a as a level to buy from. But I'm still bullish. Even despite all the bearish momentum we've had this week. Where we're trading is a really, really big level, and it's difficult for me to be looking to short these prices. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with euro pound. In terms of CS integrated, tons of DXY, just pumping, going somewhere I don't know now based on weekly 107.2 is visible. Let me have a quick look at DXY. Yeah, DXY is looking very, very bullish at the moment. Wow, that is just pumping high, that. But yeah, this is still bearish territory for me. So I'm looking for signs that the market is going to sell off from here. At the moment, we're not seeing any signs really. And this momentum could continue for the whole week, and we could be closing, very, very bullish above this area by Friday. And that will definitely make me rethink my bias going into the following week. But at the moment, the plan for the DXY this week for me was to see if we can see some rejection in here, and if things look like they're turning around, then look for some like longs in euro or longs in Aussie or longs in pound or gold and silver, really longs in those pairs. But that was really the idea. If we see some rejection here, there could be some nice longs in those corresponding markets. At the moment, not really seeing that rejection. So I'm kind of waiting to see if it will happen. I'm not ruling it out, because although we look bullish today, we got CPI tomorrow. Maybe price are looking very bearish after that. Things can change quickly. But if they don't and we see sustained breaks, then yeah, I'll have to rethink that, reanalyze going into the rest of the week and going into next week as well. But I'm still kind of just waiting to see what price will do really. 107.2, is that that's more or less the highs over here, isn't it? 107.2. Yeah, possibly we could be moving to the high over there as well. Definitely can't rule that out. I think, again, that looks like a nice place to sell. That's kind of the last point of call, really. If price doesn't sell off from there, then you're actually looking at a breakout. And maybe we are going to see that move we were talking about last stream, Euro USD going back to kind of parity and below that. And of course, seeing dollar push back to the high there, 113, 114. So yeah, possibly the next move is back to 107, 107.2. That possibly could be the next play, and there could be some nice buys along that way. But we are trading at some significant resistance still, so I'm going to see what we do at these prices. Like I said, it still looks bullish, but I'm going to wait for daily candles to close, weekly candles to close before I do anything. But one thing is for sure, I can't be looking to buy at these prices because USD has already seen a big move. The market is very stretched. This has gone too far for me to buy. I need to see a sustained pullback before I can look to find a long opportunity. At the moment, I don't really have any of that. So yeah, not much for me to do with USD at the moment unless we see some strong rejections at these prices. Yeah, back to 2023 highs, really. Or was it 2022 we made the highs? Yeah, back to 2022 highs, a lot of twos there. This is 2023 highs, yeah. So yeah, possibly you could be seeing a push back to 107.2. You definitely got a reasonable shout there if this level doesn't hold. And then we can see what happens there as well, because there could be some really nice shorts there and price comes down. And that's essentially the move I'm looking for on dollar, especially because looking at Euro USD, you had a massive move down. Again, I'm looking to see where that next bounce is. If I do get into shorts for Euro USD, it's because we've had a good pullback, because such a big move there. We had a nice pullback a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, I missed that opportunity. Hopefully next time you can see a nice pullback, maybe retest the low here, and that could be a nice trade there back down again. So if I do get into any longs in Euro and looking to take advantage of shorts on USD, then that's what I need to see happen for US dollar. I need to see a bit of a breather. I need Euro to have a bit of a breather first. And then yeah, there could be some nice shorts to take advantage of. But as we approach some of these big levels lower down, these are the levels where I'm looking for the big buyers to step in, sellers who got in up here taking profit. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm anticipating. And this is kind of the two levels I'm looking at: 1.065, which is where we're trading now, and then 1.05, which is lining up with that 107.2 level on USD. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, good idea, CS integrators. No need to try and get into the market, try and force anything. There's one thing to make profits in the market, and there's a completely different thing to keep the profits you make as well. And if there's one bit of advice I would share is definitely don't take any trades that you're not confident in. Not necessarily confident that it will work out, because you never know, but at least confident that the probability is in your favor and price action is clear and the pattern you're trading is clear and everything is clear to you to take the trade. You don't want to give the market an easy excuse to take your profits away from you. So, if you're in a situation where it doesn't look quite clear, unsure about your bias, no need to put a trade on. And if you do put a trade on, make sure you reduce the risk or whack it on a demo account. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with USD. Definitely a lot of momentum in the market, which again was what we're kind of expecting after the US elections and the Fed interest rate, is that from now to the end of the year, or at least Christmas anyway, we'll probably see a bit more momentum in the markets. We're already seeing Bitcoin fly, indices were flying too, gold's dropping. So it's definitely the market is moving. Cannot complain about that. What's up, Jay? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Lockdown, what's up? DXY hit around 106, getting into pound. Okay. So from a bounce 1.285, 1.286. So yeah, again, I do expect to see a bounce happen, but I need price action to give me that indication. So I am looking for USD to see some downside. If not from here, then from that 107 area, 107.2 area. So those areas I'm expecting sellers to step in and see reactions. But of course, price action is the leading indicator. It's the sign to me that, okay, these levels are holding. And right now, I'm not really seeing any signs of that. Dollar's still looking really strong, dropping to the 4-hour chart, still looking very strong there as well. So I need to see evidence that we are respecting that we're about to turn. At the moment, not really seeing that. And of course, same thing with pound USD as well. If USD does start failing at those prices, you will see pound USD take a go for a bit of a bounce as well. The one thing about pound USD, which I don't like at the moment, is that we're breaking through this level here. This is where I was looking for pound USD to bounce from, and we did have a somewhat of a nice bounce. It just didn't last too long, and essentially price held onto this level here. So now that looks like we are breaking through that. And the daily candle hasn't closed yet, but it does look like price is doing a good job breaking through. This now is where I expect price to push into next, 1.268. And you're looking for a buy. I know you're looking for a bounce to 1.285. 1.285. Let me drop to the 4-hour. 1.285. That's around here. 86. Okay, so you're looking for a much shorter term move. You're looking for something like this back into this area here, roughly around there. Yeah, reasonable. Hasn't really ticked any of my confidences, so not necessarily something I would look at, but I can see we're trading at this area here. We had a brief pause, a lot of momentum kicked in as well. Looks like we're trading at some level there in the daily chart, so there is that potential for a bounce. I like the close there as well with that big wick, but yeah, not necessarily my type of trade, but I can see some reasoning behind it where we're coming into. So yeah, if the market is going to retrace, after taking out the lows, and to be honest, given how corrective the market is, every time we do sweep the lows, we do see a pullback. As we can see, push up, push up, push up, push up, sweep the lows again. There's a good chance we push up as well. So yeah, I think it's a reasonable trade to bet. Not looking for too much either, just for push back to the highs there. So yeah, I like that trade. I like that trade. Yeah, given the fact that we have broken through that, we might even see the retest of that, which is kind of what you're looking for. So yeah, I don't mind that trade at all. It does make a lot of sense. And you're not looking for too much as well, which is what I see some people kind of make the mistake in doing. Yeah, looking for entries is not necessarily the hardest thing in the world, but if you're going to have unrealistic targets, then you're going to see price move in your favor, and then eventually fall back against you, and you're going to let all your floating profits go. So if you are going to have unrealistic or big targets, you need to make sure you're managing that trade somehow, trading a stop or taking partials along the way. If you are going to have big targets, but that's pretty reasonable. So yeah, short-term trade. Yeah, I like the look of it. Locked down. Cease integrated. Yeah, looking for short trade reversal for Euro and GBP. Yeah, we do have some news events coming up. To be honest, CPI tomorrow and PPI Thursday, I believe, or Friday. So there is a bit of movement as well. But yeah, the markets are already moving really. So it'd be interesting to see what CPI does tomorrow. But yeah, we'll go through some yen pairs. We spent a lot of time with USD. They're looking pretty interesting. Yen pairs, again, looking equally as interesting. Really spoke about Euro yen and dollar yen. And essentially what I'm kind of waiting for is to see if these levels hold. Because if they do hold, there's some really big moves to be had. And they look just as exciting as the USD pairs, really. These big bearish swings, especially because we're shorting the yens too. And if the yens do move how I do anticipate them to move, when the yens do sell off, they normally sell off pretty hard. If you look back at prior price action, when the market does want to see it sell, it normally is a bit more aggressive than the buys. So we could be seeing some really forceful moves in the upcoming days/weeks. Dollar yen, similar situation as well, trading at major resistance, although this one looks like it's trading above it pretty comfortably. So it's going to take a big turnaround for us to see some downside, but I'm not going to rule it out just yet. I know CAD yen's in a similar situation as well. So yeah, CAD yen holding onto this area here too. You can see rejection over there. second time over there, and of course looking for that third time. And essentially what I'm looking at is a big drop here in July, and of course this potentially could be the pullback of that for more downside. If the price does break through and use that support, then of course I'll reanalyze, and probably from then on I'm talking about buys, maybe back to the high there. So there is, some big long opportunities there too, but at the moment price is still respecting these levels as resistance. So yeah, I'm looking to see if price can turn around. I mean, dropping to the 4 hour, there's nothing there yet. Price is still looking moderately bullish to a degree. I mean, it's not the most free flowing market, but we are still seeing higher highs and higher lows. So if you are going to sell off, I do need to see price, break out that channel, effectively break structure as well, because this is the low that gave us that push to the high as well. So this is the trend the market is following. So if we can break through that, that'll be a nice indication the sellers are stepping to the market, that level in the weekly chart is holding. And then we can speak about some nice shorts, retest of the low here, or maybe the retest of the low over here. Again, it really depends on the breakout, how strong it was, which level I look for the retest on, or how I look to get into the market. But essentially, I'm looking for the break lower, and then that will open up the door to some really nice shorts. And I'll be expecting us to come all the way back down to retest this low here, which is 105. So yeah, I do have a bearish, not necessarily bearish bias yet, because the market is still seeing higher highs and higher lows. But if we do break through, I will be bearish really, really quickly, and I'll start to look for some shorts. So I'm keeping an eye on that for CAD Yen. Still a little bit premature, but it might be gearing up for that. In terms of the other yen pairs, not really too interested with them. If you look at Aussie yen and New Zealand yen, these pairs still in the consolidation last time I checked. Yeah, pretty much still in the consolidation, so not really interested trading these guys until we break out, as I've been saying for the past, it feels like a month now probably, but that's the reality of it. If I'm not looking to trade inside the range, then there's not much for me to do. But equally so, it looks like prices had a massive drop in July, and again, this could be a pullback of that for some more downside. I think that's pretty reasonable. Expectation of the market, even if it isn't to continue all the way down, probably you expect to see a drop, at least probably 50% of that bullish leg anyway, if the market is going to have just a normal pullback to potentially continue the trend. If we're going to see a higher low, another one, and potentially another one as well, I think that's a realistic place where we could pull back into, and then maybe see some more upside later on, or maybe continue to really sell off as well. But either which way, I do think a pullback to the downside is likely. Whether it's going to turn into a massive continuation or not, we'll find out as that time develops. But what I am looking for, if you do break to the downside, will be the retest of the low of the range. So if we can get the retest of the low, that'll be beautiful. And I'll be looking at opportunities like so to take some shorts back down again. So yeah, that's really what I'm looking at for Aussie yen. This to me looks like another big fake out, similar to what we had here, just more exaggerated. And then yeah, we'll be expecting us to push it to 98, 97, and then we'll see if we can take it further as well. New Zealand yen, pretty much the same thing as well. Last time I checked, yeah, it's still comfortably within that same range. Very, very choppy conditions. So yeah, you wouldn't catch me trading inside of that, to be honest. Very, very choppy. I need to see some momentum. I need to see some breakouts, which I think is, on the cusp of that happening, really. When price is moving, consolidating like this for a while, it does mean we're going to have a pretty big breakout. Typically, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout is normally the rule. And we've been consolidating pretty well for quite some time now. So if price does finally make its commitment, whether it'll be up or down, I do think we'll see a big move. But again, dropping to the higher time frames, looking at the bigger picture, massive sell-off in July. Still can't believe how big that sell-off was. Really, really aggressive. I do think we're having some type of correction for us to see a continuation lower. Again, if not, at least to see 50% of this bullish leg, I think is still pretty likely. So back to 89,500 is where I do think I can see us having a move to the downside too. But really my focus is on the highs and the lows, waiting for convincing breakout in either direction. So even if we don't break out lower, I mean, we break to the upside, I still think there'll be a nice buy opportunity to follow that momentum on a retest and see some upside there as well. But again, just not really looking to trade inside that range because conditions are quite poor and it's difficult to find good entries with a good stop loss and not get faked out or wicked out just to see price moving your direction. It's going to happen a lot more inside those areas. And then if you take a look at pound yen, for example, again, this one's still looking for a bit of a move to the downside. I still think price is pretty stretched. It's still very corrective. Not really seeing much bullish momentum, to be honest. Um, still kind of just moving in this ascending channel. So I do think we're probably going to see some downside at some point now. And it looks like we're very close to seeing that. Price has tried to break through the channel a couple times now. I do think the breakout is pretty is on the horizon. So I'm looking at some downside for pound yen. I'm not quite sold that we're going to have a big drop, but if one of the yen pairs do it, probably can see all of them do. But at least I'm looking for a push back into the high here, roughly, which is around 193. If I measure 50% of the swing, almost lines up. So roughly this is the area I'm expecting us to push down into for pound yen. So if you do see a break of that channel, I'm looking for at least a drop into that level. And there could be some nice shorts on the break of the channel as well. If you can get break, maybe a retest, something like that could open up some nice shorts, probably in the lower time frames though. And I do think we'll probably see that pullback sooner or later. And of course, CHF JPY as well. This one overall doing something similar. Oh, that's nice spelled, CHF JPY. That's seen some downside as well. Still looking for this one to come further. I think the shorts do look good here for this one. If it's coming bounce off that low there, I think that's a nice place for a short and anticipate more of a pullback since we are starting to form some lower highs. 1, 2, possibly 3. Connecting the dots there as well. So I think on the lower time frame, some shorts look good. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the CHF pairs. I'm still main focus is dollar yen to see if that can break the low. Euro yen as well. Keep an eye out for that. If that goes and breaks the low too, because then that becomes a really nice short opportunity. But yeah, I'm kind of just waiting for a bit more development there before getting involved. Hey, what's up, Holy One? Welcome to the stream. Baron, euros in the range and daytime frame. Okay, I'll take a look. BTC tanking. What, like the 1 minute time frame? Oh, it is seeing some downside. Yeah, I think this is just I'm seeing some momentum. I would just look at that as an opportunity to buy it on the dip. Really, if you look at the trade intraday, I think that would be an opportunity to get long. Really, because again, the big thing about Bitcoin is momentum. So if we were to see the bullish momentum suddenly disappear, then yeah, that would be a bit alarming. I'm speaking more about the daily time frame, really. Of course, intraday, you're going to see bearish candles, you can see dips, all of that will happen. It's not going to just move in one straight line, but I think from a daily perspective, we can see momentum keep up. I think even if we pull back 50%, of that bullish candle, still a very reasonable pullback. It looks like we're coming into that 50 area there. Even if it's 50% of this, I wouldn't be too alarmed, although that would be a pretty big dip actually. Yeah, actually don't know. I don't know actually. I'm just rethinking that because it's not like it's like a gold or FX. If gold or FX fall back 50%, I mean that's a great opportunity to buy it back up. With Bitcoin, I kind of want it to be shallow pullbacks really. Let me get the 0.382 on. So yeah, around the 0.382, I still think that's a nice buy still. If you're looking to trade it, not necessarily invest, but if you're looking to trade, I still think that's a nice buy coming into that area. So even if Bitcoin was to drop there, I wouldn't be too alarmed at that. Yeah, but yeah, you're definitely right. We are seeing some downside. We are definitely seeing some downside. It's just very volatile at the moment. I can imagine some people will be a little bit scared now. But in the grand scheme of things, with this move, we've seen a slight dip in the market. If I was to measure that, it's about a 5% drop. But then again, you saw a 30% increase, 34% increase in the space of like 6, 7, 8 days. So 34% up, 5% down. I wouldn't be too alarmed. What's up, Lauda? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Oh, wait. My bad. My bad. Short memory. Short memories. Too much analysis. Too much analysis made me forget. What's up, Lauda? Hope you're well. I will take a look at Euro USD, Varun, by the way. Martin, what's up, my man? Hope you're well. CHF JPY. Okay, we'll take a look. BTC to retest 12K before continuation in one big wick, then 100K. Damn. Now that would be crazy. That would be crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's a bit too volatile for my liking. A BTC retest of 12K before continuation. Yeah, it's a bit too volatile. But yeah, I think everything still looks bullish. I know, a little bit of a dip in the market there, but I wouldn't be too concerned with that. I think that's just an opportunity to buy it up, really. Yeah, nothing too alarming yet. But of course, you're naturally going to see a bit of of profit taking. You're naturally going to see a bit of a dip. It's not going to just be one line just pushing up. Every single candle's bullish. If you look back at previous bullish runs, even this one here, not long ago, we even saw a dip like this. That was a pretty big dip there. Probably people pooping their pants a little bit, and then shortly follows a lovely run that kind of does double that move there to the upside as well. So again here, that was a big bearish day there as well, followed by a lot of continuation, bit of a bearish day there as well, a lot of continuation too. I had a pretty big drop there and sustained bearish momentum as well, a bit of a more corrected pullback, and that continued to fly. Of course, it eventually did top out, and of course, the more frequent you see these pullbacks and bigger corrections happen, the more likely we are approaching the top of that run, and price will definitely look to pull back at some point. You look at this, some sustained bearish moves as well. So Bitcoin's not going to just keep flying forever. It's going to have its pullback. It's going to go through another big bearish cycle at some point in time as well. It's just naturally how the market moves. To me, this is just like an opportunity if you're trading the low time frames for some buys. Yeah, XRP. Yeah, pretty much all the major cryptos will do. So Bitcoin is the instigator of everything. So if Bitcoin can keep up, I do expect other major cryptos to follow suit as well. Let me go through Euro USD now. Take a look at that CHF JPY opportunity. So yeah, Euro USD, is it ranging the daily? Yes, I would definitely say so. It's definitely ranging on the daily, on the weekly charts. Really, it's been a choppy market for the past kind of almost couple of years, really. And again, the best way to trade ranges is to look to buy low and sell high, and effectively buy lower than other buyers and sell higher than other sellers is the best way to go for it. We are approaching a major level of support now, so I'm looking to see if Euro will bounce. At the moment, not really seeing much signs or evidence of us doing that. Still seeing a lot of momentum really on the lower time frames. But I do expect us to go through some type of bounce at some point, if not from this level, then from 1.05. And if we do go for a bit of a bounce, I do think the pullbacks afterwards will look good as well. Maybe we can come back, retest that low, see the next lower high. That could be a nice little opportunity to swing it back down. But yeah, we are definitely ranging, I would say. We're definitely ranging. Okay, I'll go through CHF JPY. So yeah, bring it back to the yen pairs. So the yen pairs, I do think a big move down could be on the cards here. Again, some look better than others. Like USD if it can break structure, Euro yen if it can break structure as well. CHF not really one I'm looking at for the sells because it did break through this area here. This was the level which I was looking for price to hold, kind of like that big head and shoulder pattern, left head and right shoulder, but it never gave us the right shoulder there. So after it broke through, that's a bit alarming to me, and now we're coming back at this area here, support. So I would be a bit careful of that. But really it just depends what the yen wants to do. If the yen's going to be strong, it doesn't really matter what about market structure. CHF is going to fall. If yen's going to be weak, then yeah, we'll continue higher. I think if you're looking to sell CHF I like this area here around 175. 175,500. We've got the previous lower highs in the market over there. I do think if we can see a bit of a pullback, this looks like a nice space for a short. See some wicks there, probably scale to the hourly chart for some entries. And that to me does look like a nice trade. If we can see that retest. Again, how far we go, that's a different question. I think if you're looking just to take it back into the low, that's a very reasonable trade. And you can always leave some positions to run if price does go a bit further. But for me, that looks like a nice opportunity there for CHF. Nice strong break of the level last week. And now a retest of that makes a lot of sense. And if yen is going to be strong, maybe we do have a big tank as well. So leaving some positions to run, maybe back to this area, might be a nice opportunity. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with CHF. Overall, I do think the yen pairs can see some downside. I am looking at some upside for the JPY basket as well. There is a big level above us here, which I think we can at least come back and retest that. Whether we'll get a move like this, that's a different question. But I do think we're running out a bit of juice now. Price is getting pretty corrective here. So I do think we are going to push up. We do have a nice low there. We're priced to have a brief pause, a lot of momentum to the upside as well. So that to me looks like a nice place where we can see a big reaction. Maybe we have one more push down before the move, but I am looking at some upside there on the JPY basket, which of course we'll be looking for some downside on the yen pairs, given that they're inversely correlated. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the yen pairs. Again, my main focus, dollar yen and euro yen out of them, and then out the USD. I still do like silver to the upside, to be honest. Even though gold is still looking pretty bearish, I still do like silver to the upside. It just means that I probably won't be looking to take it back to the swing highs all the way up here. The move might just be something like this, which then might open up the door to something like this later on. We do have a massive level here as well. So that's kind of where I'm looking to see if I can take the trade into. So I still do like the longs there for silver based on the market structure. Really comfortable level for buys here. A lot of rejection in the past. Do you think we can see something similar again? But yeah, that break of structure on gold does worry me a little bit. It does worry me as a buyer of silver or as someone looking to buy silver because yeah, that to me looks like gold maybe going through a bearish cycle. I do think we'll pull back first, and if we do see a pullback and still see some upside, yeah, that's kind of the move I'm looking to profit from. And the move may just still take us lower, but yeah, that break of structure for me is a very significant break there, especially the way we did it, as I was mentioning earlier. It's not like gold kind of just slowly, correctively fell and took out the low. It really pushed down for a lot of momentum, really. So going forwards, I do think gold's got a bit more downside in the tank there. So if gold does see some upside, I would be interested in shorting. Yeah, I would be interested in shorting as well. If you take a look at the indices, I know that they've seen a bit of downside as well. Nothing major, I don't think. Yeah, kind of just a little bit of downside down NAS, but nothing major. Again, the indices are still overall bullish. With these guys, I'm not really entertaining the idea of sells because given the current climate, all we do is just see more upside. If we go through a bit of a bearish cycle, then sure, there could be some nice sells in these areas. But, since literally the turn of the year, not turn of this year, turn of last year, turn of January 2023, the market just been absolutely flying to the upside. So if we do take a bit of a dip, just looking for the higher low and the continuation and looking to keep playing that until proven otherwise, really. So going back to the 4-hour chart, if you can see a pullback, retest the high here, I think that's a nice trade. Pretty healthy pullback as well. If I whip out the old Fibonacci from the low to the high, you've got the 50% not far away. Let me move the 0.32. 50% not far away, coming back into this area, might wick into that quite nicely. And that looks like a nice place for a buy and for a big swing trade as well. And then the price is kind of struggling up here, but I think that's where you want to be looking for a buy if you want to swing it. But yeah, naturally, that's the 3-hour chart. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at for opportunities on NAS. Looking at S&P 500. Overall, looking very bullish there as well. Again, if I whip out the Fibonacci from low to the high, 50% pretty much lines up with the high there too. So again, that looks like a really nice place for a long. See a pull back into that area. That's a very wonky line, but you know what I mean by that. But again, just the more upside, really, really comfortable higher highs and higher lows. Of course, you got your lovely US 30 as well, which, looking very bullish, even breaking the top end of that channel. I'll still be looking at pullback at some point, but at this moment in time, price could just keep pushing really. So I wouldn't be looking to sell because it's difficult to see where that top is. It's not like you can base it on market structure and look to the left. There is nothing to the left there. So that's why I would be refraining from selling, and given the condition of the market as well, very, very bullish anyway. So yeah, that is not what I wanted to do. So yeah, I would only be looking at pullbacks for these indices. Ben, now I can look to long silver. I can still look to long silver. I don't need to perfectly align. It's always best if they do align though. But given the fact that gold has broken structure, probably means that I won't be looking to hit a home run here with silver, because I do expect gold to see some upside. Yes, gold has been very, very bearish and has broken structure, but look where gold is trading. We're still trading at a major low here, so this is still bullish territory for gold. So I do think gold is now likely going to see some upside at some point. It's just that the upside I'm expecting for gold is no longer pushed back to the high, or at least in one go anyway. It will be more of a reaction for price to probably see some more downside. So I am technically expecting a move to the upside now for gold, even though we've broken structure. I just think the bigger move will be to the downside. So looking at silver as we approach bullish territory as well, where we found a lot of support in this area. Again, I'm looking for another bounce, but again, the bigger move still might be to the downside as well. So yes, gold breaking structure does imply more downside for gold later on. But at the moment in time, I do think we'll still see a bounce for gold. And that's the move I'm looking to profit on. So they technically are in line, gold and silver technically are in line. They're both approaching big levels of support where I do think we'll see some upside. It's just now the bigger move, I don't expect it to be to the high in one go. Of course, eventually, yes, but it may go through more of a bearish cycle first before eventually pushing up. So yeah, they technically are in line, at least according to my analysis anyway. But yeah, I'm no longer looking for just one push to the upside now for gold or silver. So yeah, big break of structure there. Hey, what's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good, my man. Thank you for asking. Good to see you as well. Hope everything is going well with you as always. Hi, one. No, I normally use FXCM. I use Oanda for gold and silver because I don't think FXCM have a chart for gold. Well, they do actually. They didn't have it in the past actually. Probably will switch to FXCM for gold and silver now. But yeah, some of the commodities as well I use Oanda too. But yeah, FXCM is the one I normally use because normally FXCM's got the most data. Like for example, if I go to Euro USD of FXCM, and if I go to like the monthly chart, FXCM, I can scroll all the way back to 1971, if you go to Oanda, for example, with Euro USD, you're only going back to 2003. I mean, it's not that I need the data from 1971, but if I can get a bigger picture of the market, it's going to be more useful in general. So FXCM give me a bit more data than Oanda and some of the other markets, I'm pretty sure. If I use capital.com, yeah, that's only giving me back to 2016 as well. So yeah, FXCM gives you a bit more data. So that's why I use them. But yeah, I didn't know gold had FXCM here, to be honest. So I probably will switch to gold now. That gives me back to 1971 as well. But again, it's not like I'm looking at this 1971 data, to be honest. But it just gives me a little bit more information, especially when I'm looking at like the monthly chart. All right, okay, Bridge Studies. Well, you got to study, my man. Can't be watching my streams all the time. Graduating this weekend? No way. Congratulations, Chris. Congratulations. I'm happy to hear that, man. Happy to hear that. But yeah, I mean, again, that's the thing about trading. It's not going to go anywhere. You know, if you have some situations, some things you have to take care of, then you got to focus on your studies. But trading is always there as well. So once you've graduated, you've ticked that box. I'm sure you've got something else planned in the pipeline, but hopefully that will give you a bit more time to to get into trading as well. But yeah, it's really great to hear. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, given what FX is doing. Yeah, that's the attitude, Holy One. That's the attitude. Remain a student. Every day is a school day. Learn something new today. Yeah, that's the attitude. That is the attitude. Resuming trading next week. Nice, nice. Yeah, trading's never going anyway. So sometimes you need to take a break for things, for external or whatever reasons. Make sure you do it, because the worst thing you want to do is trade under stress or under, not a comfortable situation, because you're going to make stupid mistakes, really, out of desperation or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with gold and silver. Given some of the crosses, there are a few markets I am looking at. Like I did mention a lot, New Zealand CHF coming into this week, because I do like the buys with New Zealand CHF, but I want it to retrace a little bit deeper. So yeah, this is the level which I'm looking to get involved in with New Zealand CHF. Unfortunately, we're nowhere near that level. We opened the week here, as I kind of expecting us to keep falling down into that level there, but we've seen a bit of upside. Looks like price is having a lot of trouble at this area here. But yeah, I do think there's a big buy to be had with New Zealand CHF, in particular, the weekly chart, because we are really respecting this prior low. This to me looks like a big kind of fake out of that same low. And now coming back to retest it. And judging off the last week's candle, nice little wick to the downside, it does look like price is holding to that low pretty well. So now I'm expecting us to see a lot more upside there for New Zealand CHF, as long as we hold that low, of course. So I am looking for a longer term move to the upside. Whether I hold the trade for that long, that's a different question. But if we can approach some support again around 0.518, that's where I want to put a nice entry, get a stop loss below, and see if I can catch a bounce at least back into the same area. But I'll be expecting us to eventually break through that. So yeah, New Zealand CHF I do like. Other CHF pairs have been interesting. I think overall CHF has been a bit weak this week, and CHF pairs have pushed up. Looking at pound CHF, I'm pretty sure that was a little bit bullish this week. I think Holy One's actually trading that one. It's still just about trading above this level here. It's not the cleanest chart in the world, but it looks like we've had a big range in prices now, using that resistance as support, really. And if we can keep that up, then we probably can push back to the high down the left as well. 1.136. Looking at Euro CHF, I really don't like this pair at the moment, to be honest. So yeah, just very choppy price action. A bit of a range here. Market's been dancing between that. I said if it does push back to the high here, I'll consider some shorts because at least we're outside of that range. And I think the shorts will be a lot cleaner here, can judge a nice reaction off that. But as long as price stays in here, I will not be looking to touch it or get involved. And again, the move I'm looking for, EUR/CHF, it's still a move back into the low here. Maybe some buys from here could look good, but yeah, this is what I'm looking for to happen. And maybe if we do push up first, there might be some nice sells later on. Aussie/CHF, don't really have a setup I'm looking at for this one, to be honest. I was trading this one a few weeks ago on the retest of that level. Now that we've kind of left that behind, unless we get back there again, I don't really see an opportunity, to be honest. So yeah, don't really have much to say with that one. And then CAD/CHF, that one's trying to get back to that high there on the left, but struggling a little bit. I mean, overall, there's a lot of resistance here, so kind of makes sense. But yeah, again, with CAD/CHF, waiting for a breakout as well. So yeah, CHF pairs definitely not my favorite. I do like New Zealand CHF, but the rest of them, yeah, I don't really have an opportunity for myself to get involved with. But if New Zealand CHF wants to get back to the 0.518, I will definitely consider some longs. Hey, you've missed the platform a lot. School's done this weekend. Well, again, you can always start back up again. Charts, market not going anywhere. But glad to have you back on the stream, though. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, how do I? No rules are broken. No need to try and force it. Manage the trade accordingly. You know, your rules are there for a reason. Annie, what's up? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well too. How about silver to buy at this price? I'm looking to buy silver a little bit lower from where we're currently trading. My area I'm looking to buy is here, which is around 30 pretty much on the dot. This is where I'm looking to buy silver. So I'm looking for a little bit more downside, and then I'm looking for entries in that area. And yeah, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, could see a move back into 32.380. But that is the move I'm looking for. And now we're just going to see how price gets there, how we react. If we can see some nice wicks forming, shift in momentum, that's really what I'll be after now going forward with silver. But yeah, I am bullish still, as long as we can hold 30 pretty much on the dot. And yeah, I will be looking for some upside, more or less in the area. But I want to see a bit more downside first before I start looking for entries. Ben, yes, EuroCAD did break to the downside. Looking for 1.446 if I can get an opportunity. Okay, so yeah, EuroCAD, I did like that one. A lot of downside for EuroCAD. In fact, we'll go through some of the CAD pairs now. So yeah, EuroCAD, yeah, strong break. I mean, I want a bit more downside before I start looking for some pullbacks, but the breakout has essentially happened really. I'm just looking for a bit more momentum for the market to stretch a little bit more before we get the retest. But if everything goes to plan, we could be seeing EuroCAD trading at some of these prices, more or less around the 1.46 region. You're looking for a push to 0.446, which would be around here. So you're looking for a push back into that low. That possibly could be where we're looking to push into next. I'm just going to be looking at that low since we've had a lot of rejections there, but you very much could get to that low there easily. I mean, either which way, we're looking at a pretty big move to the downside, safe to say, for EuroCAD. So yeah, I'm pretty bearish with this one. Again, I've been speaking about this one a lot. I said I'm not going to add it to my watch list until we get the breakout, but yeah, since it did get the breakout yesterday, I did add it to my watch list. So it's now an opportunity I'm actively looking at. This is the range I'm looking at on the weekly chart. So you got the highs over there and you got the lows there as well. So to me, this is just price getting back to the high of the range, respecting it really well. And naturally, we could be seeing price make a push all the way to the low. Of course, we'll take it level by level. There's a level here as well around 1.47, 1.46, 1.45. But if we are really rejecting this area, I do think we can see a similar drop to what we had not too long ago as well. So yeah, really do like the look of Eurocads on the higher time frames. We are seeing a strong break. There we go. We're seeing a strong break on the daily chart, leaving behind this support level. So if I draw it in, this is now going to be resistance here. So I would like price to stretch a little bit further before I do look for the shorts, the retest of the level. But it does look good to me. It does look really good. And yeah, in terms of risk to reward as well, you can find a nice little entry here, stop above the level. Even something like that, you're looking at a nice 1 to 4, maybe 1 to 5 into that same level. And of course, if you're aiming a little bit lower, you are looking at bigger risk rewards. But overall, in terms of what I'm seeing, EuroCAD looks like a really nice opportunity. And yeah, Euro was pretty weak yesterday. Euro is pretty weak because Pound CAD, I don't think we quite saw that momentum, did we? I think price was a little bit bearish, but nowhere near. Yeah, a little bit bearish, but not much compared to EuroCAD. But yeah, strong break of 1.48 was it? 1.49, strong break of that. So yeah, now I'm looking at a lot more downside now for EuroCAD. So I'm with you on that opportunity, Ben. I'm with you 100% on that one. It looks really, really good. In terms of the other CAD pairs, so if I go to Pound CAD, so yeah, Pound CAD, I'm looking for a big move to the downside. I actually think Pound CAD's got a lot more juice than EuroCAD because EuroCAD on the weekly chart, we're kind of just consolidating in that range. Whereas, if I actually go to the monthly chart, actually, if I go to the monthly chart for Pound CAD, we've kind of got a much, much bigger range. We've got the high over there, which we're now testing again, which is where I'm expecting to see some downside from. And we've got the low of the range all the way down there. So, I mean, effectively, we could see Pound CAD make a move like this. But of course, we're traders, not necessarily investors here in Pound CAD. So we're not going to look for a move like that in one go. But I think reasonably speaking, we can look for a push to the 50% level. Again, not in one trade, but there's a pretty good chance we do get back to that 50% area. And just looking at pullbacks and shorting opportunities on the way down back to that same level, I think makes a lot of sense. I mean, it kind of lines up with the resistance here as well, which is around 1.72. So if I drop now back to the daily chart, if we could see this trend line kind of break, which looks like price is trying to do, if you can see that trend line break, then I'll be expecting a trend to form to the downside, and that'll probably eventually take us back into that low. So the idea would be looking to get involved in the pullbacks, shorting and retests of levels on the way down until we get back into these prices. And then maybe we go for a bit of a bounce or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of room to the downside for Pound CADs, arguably more than what I'm seeing for EuroCAD. It's just Pound CAD is a little bit further behind Euro in terms of the breakout. So I do want to see price give us a strong break of this low. We've seen a lot of rejection at these prices. 1, 2, 3, almost 4, 5, 6. So I kind of want to see price leave that behind and now open up the door to some nice retest. A lot of rejection there. That'll turn into some really nice support. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. You could see a really big move. Of course, I'd watch out for this area here. But well and truly, I think we'll probably break through and get that bigger move. And then these are the opportunities I'm interested in, shorting those pullbacks. So I like EuroCAD and PoundCAD, both of them. They look really well. Of course, they're similar pairs anyway. If EuroCAD makes a big move down, PoundCAD is likely to follow suit. Just depends what Euro and Pound are doing that day. But yeah, at the moment, EuroCAD is a lot more developed, and we've already seen a strong break. So this is where my focus is. PoundCAD's not my watch list just yet. Still needs to get that break, and then I'll look to add it. But yeah, this is definitely what I'm looking at for EuroCAD going forward. Looking at Aussie CAD and Pound CAD, I think there could be some nice opportunities with these currency pairs as well, but they just don't compare to Euro CAD and Pound CAD at the moment. Again, we see this ascending channel, which has been going on for a while, as you can see with all these higher lows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we could still see another higher low here. Price comes back, respects it, and we see some upside from that. And that possibly could be the case there with Aussie CAD. But the move I'm more interested in is the break and then the continuation back into the low. That's really what I'm looking for, back into 0.85820, because if you look at the higher time frame, that's kind of what the market has been doing for a while. Big drop down, pullback, big drop down, pullback. So I'm kind of looking for the continuation of that. And because this market's been so corrective on the way up, it's not really something I want to follow, to be honest. If we break down, I'm expecting big momentum to come back in. I mean, Aussie CAD is a notorious choppy pair, but at least if I'm in the line of the higher time frames, the moves will be a little cleaner and a little bit easier to trade. And then New Zealand CAD, you're looking at the same thing, really. Another ascending channel. I'm looking for that to eventually break and see a push back to the origin, back to the low here. And again, this is the area I'm expecting us to break through, and then we can speak about some shorts hopefully afterwards. But Euro CAD, Pound CAD look a lot better, a lot cleaner. So I probably won't bother trading these two opportunities because they don't look as good. Again, with the amount of markets I trade, there's a lot of opportunities in the market, but it's always picking the better ones, the ones that are cleaner, making more sense. I'm looking at the same move, really, a break-in retest and a continuation for all four of them. But EuroCAD, the breakout so clean out that range, momentum looks good. I'd rather focus my efforts there. And if Pound CAD wants to see a nice break of that trend line there as well, again, I do expect a lot of downside, so that'll be a nice opportunity too. And Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD, not quite there, but all CAD related, so I think they'll do similar things. But yeah, given the CAD pairs, that's kind of where my focus is. Euro CAD at the moment is the only one on the watch list. In terms of like the Pound Aussie and Euro Aussie and those type of currency pairs, again, I do have an opportunity which I'm looking at for Pound NZD and Pound Aussie, but they're very, very far away from giving me an opportunity. The idea of Pound NZD, I'm still looking to continue these high lows. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking for a fifth one somewhere in this area. But you can see where we're trading very, very far away. So there's no point in me looking to add this to my watch list at the moment because it'll probably take even a couple of weeks to get there potentially. So not really looking too much at Pound NZD until we get closer. And of course, I'll monitor how we get there as well, because that's important. Whether we impulsively just drop or we slowly correctively move, that will affect the quality of the setup as well. But essentially, I'm looking for that next high low in this area, 2.12. Pound Aussie, looking for a very similar move there as well. As we can see with the higher lows, steadily pushing to the upside. Maybe not as obvious as Pound NZD, but slightly still increasing in price. You've got the highs over here, which I'm looking for price to get to. And again, I like the retest of the low here, if we can see a push back into that same area. So again, we'll monitor how we move, how we get there. Do we move impulsively? Do we slowly move down? That will impact the traded quality as well. But if things look good, ticks all the boxes, this is where I'm looking to take a buy, 1.93. Again, pretty far away, not really in my sight, in my line of sight, really down Pound Aussie until we get closer to those prices. But again, looking for a bounce. There might be some shorts in the meantime to take it to the downside, but I'm not interested in that at all. And only focus on the long opportunities here with Pound Aussie. In terms of Euro Aussie and Euro NZD, yeah, I don't really have much opportunity for this one. I have talked about a retest there, but that's not an opportunity which I'm looking at myself. This was an opportunity I was discussing with someone else. Again, really the opportunity I'm waiting for is actually the break of this low, which will be really, really nice because we've been consolidating here forever. And I think when we break to the downside, it'll be similar to what we're seeing with EuroCAD, which is a really big consolidation, and eventually price breaking down. I feel like we'll probably do a similar move on the way up here as we'll do on the way down. So that's really what I'm looking for Euro Aussie, but that could take a long time, really. So not really a pair that I'm focused on myself. I don't really want to be trading inside this range here. I'm not really seeing the best opportunities, so not really a focus. But I did say a nice kind of intra-week opportunity. Retest this level here. If things look good, that could be a nice place for a reaction. Might form a big head and shoulder pattern. But because given the context of the market, not really a market which I'm I would want to trade myself. But if you are eager to trade Euro Aussie, depending how we react there, that could be a nice level around 1.633 for some shorts. And then looking at Euro NZD, yeah, still very choppy as well. Not a bad place for long, to be honest. That could be a nice place for a bounce. Again, I wouldn't be looking to take it too far. If you can get back to this area here, I think that's a really nice trade itself. Think back to that high, that's a really nice trade. But I like how price is bouncing there. A lot of wicks. Looks like it's failing to break through. So it's not a bad place for a buy. Again, if I expand to the higher time frames, that is not the higher time frames. Let's try that again. If I expand to the higher time frames, there we go. Again, overall, the market is just very, very flat. So not the best conditions to look for pullback opportunities. But yeah, until these opportunities clean up, until we start to see momentum in the higher time frames, then I can't really be looking to do too much here with Euro NZD or pound NZD until they break out. Euro Aussie and Euro NZD, I meant, until they break out. But like I said, at the moment, pound NZD, pound Aussie, they got some nice momentum. So that's where my focus will be until they give me the bigger pullback. There's not really much for me to do. Hollywood, no, I'm not in trades at the moment. Last trade I was in was the Euro USD before the US elections. But yeah, I was looking to get into silver last week, but I decided not to. And yeah, haven't had much since then. Now I'm looking at silver now as the closest opportunity I have for a trade. It's not too far away at all, really, so I have to keep a close eye on that. That could set up even today, to be honest. But yeah, at the moment, silver's the closest one for a trade for me. Yeah, silver's the closest one. Oh, that is an interesting name there. I'm just going to say Rishnan, because I know I would definitely not pronounce that name correctly. So I'm just going to say Rishnan. Gold, Euro USD. Don't understand those prices that you're looking to buy from or bought from, or where you're looking them to go. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. I mean, you can have a look at those markets if you want. Lockdown, what's up? Return investment, what do you consider a realistic monthly return for an account? Well, it depends how aggressive you want to be. I would say anywhere between 2 to 5R is realistic on a trading FX on a monthly basis. But in terms of percentage, it can be 10, 15 if you're going to risk a lot more, or it could be 2 to 5 or even less. To be honest, you're going to risk a lot less. So I say 2 to 5R because that allows you to allocate how much R you want it to be, whether your R is going to be 1% or it's going to be 3%. But yeah, 2 to 5R is, I say, pretty healthy, pretty sustainable. But in terms of percentage, you can change that whatever you want it to be. But just know that if you're going to risk, 3, 4, 5% per trade, just know you're going to be in a lot more drawdown and a lot likely to blow up as well. Annie, what's up? Possibly trade Forex for really long term, a trade or two, which can run for a year or more. So you're basically looking for an investment there, Annie. I don't know many people who hold a trade for over a year. I've seen a few months, but a year is a bit tricky. So number one, if you're going to hold a trade for a year, you need to be in the line of positive swap. Because if you're negative swap, so if you're negative swap for a whole year, that's going to pile up 100%. It's effective. You're going to hold a trade for a year. It's more like an investment, really. So in terms of the time frames you're looking to trade on, you want to scoot all the way to the monthly chart. at least the weekly, but more likely the monthly chart. And you'll be looking for major turning points in the market, and you're looking to kind of hold from then from then onwards. So um, you're looking for turning points in the market like these type of trades here, and you're looking just to hold for that year or more. So I would be looking at opportunities in the monthly chart and looking just for the significant swing points. So where the market seems to be concentrating on, to take trades off that. Because the one thing about the higher time frames that you can trust a lot more is that the levels are a lot more sturdy. So you can back them a lot more. So a monthly chart support or a monthly resistance is going to be a lot more reliable than say like a 15-minute support resistance level. So you can definitely back them a lot more and they'll be a lot more effective. But you want to be waiting for confirmation of the monthly, I would say, and you can plot trade from then onwards. But yeah, make sure you're in direction of positive swap as well. Otherwise, you could be paying a lot of money just for potentially a break even. So even if it is a break even and you hold it for a year, at least you make a little bit of money on the positive swap. Tom, potential shorts on gold. Okay, nice. 4 hour 2650. Okay, I'll take a look at that opportunity. I think downside for gold looks pretty good, to be honest. Of course, you need to pull back at the moment. But if you do see a decent pullback, I think shorts do look good. Okay, no problem, Devon. No problem. Yeah, of course, a lot down. Risk appetite percentage, because RR is consistent. Some person can make 3R in a month, but given the R, someone might be risking 3% per trade, so they made 9% that month, or someone could be risking 0.5% per trade. They have a really big account, so they don't need to take a lot of risk. 0.5% per trade, so you made 3R, you made 1.5% that month. So 1.5 to 9 is a big difference, but because the person took more risk, he made more, well, not necessarily more money, but more percentage growth. So yeah, focus on the R. That's what you can be consistent with, and depending how aggressive you want to be, you can fluctuate that. But let me go take a look at gold. But just know that if you want to go for the bigger gains, sure, you're going to take more risk, but just be prepared for that bigger drawdown, which is inevitable. So yeah, with gold, I do like the downside. Wow, look at the monthly chart. I haven't actually looked at gold and monthly like that. It does put things into context of how bullish we have been this year. A solid breakout of that range and really prices flew. So even looking at this bearish engulfing candle right now in the monthly chart, which hasn't closed yet, still has 17 days left. We're almost halfway through November, so still a lot of trading to do before that monthly candle does close. But it put things into context. Even if it does close like that, it might insinuate more downside, but you expect us to eventually find support and push back up again. But yeah, gold is definitely very bearish after this move here. I did say yesterday and last week as well, I'm still bullish on gold as long as we hold this low, but we haven't. We've broken through. So yes, I'm longer term bullish, of course, that hasn't changed. But in the more immediate future, if we do see some upside, I do expect us to see some downside right back down again as we kind of continue the lower highs here. I did say as well, if you come back to retest this area, that could be a nice place to short. Nice brief pause in the market where price built up that consolidation. We had a really strong breakout for that momentum. So if we did get a retest, there's a likely chance we'll see a strong reaction. Of course, the market was too bearish to do that. Dropped again really hard as well. So if you approach some of these prices here, I think you're looking good. I think on the lower time frames, there's a little bit of reaction around there. I can see the wicks in the 4 hour. So brief consolidation again, nice drop to the downside. If I get that Fibonacci from the top to bottom, you got 50% around 2650. I think that's where you said you're looking to get. Yeah, 2650. Yeah, so that looks good. Retesting that low. I think 2650 to 2670 looks good. So that 0.618 area looks good as well. brief pause down the hourly chart, a nice move anywhere from these two levels. I think is a nice place to look to short the market. And yeah, you can really look to target. I mean, I probably wouldn't be too optimistic with the shorts. I think if you can get a trade back to the low, you're looking good. Because although, yes, we have broken structure, and that does mean more downside. But given how bullish we are on the higher time frames, not like a normal FX pair, which is broken structure, you know, breaking structure up here has a bit less significance. But yeah, I do expect more downside. I think if you can get it back to the low, you're looking good. Maybe we do continue a little bit further, but eventually I'd still think gold's going to reverse and still see a lot of upside. So I'll be careful with that. But yeah, in terms of this opportunity, yeah, it looks good. Where are we? Chris, overall strategy and what time frame do you use to enter? Well, the moment I use the 4 hour time frame, I've made the switch from the hourly to the 4 hour. More so because I'm a bit more busy, so it's a bit more difficult to look for entries on the hourly chart. 4 hours is a little bit slower, so it gives me a bit more time, so I can stay on top of things a little bit better. So 4 hour for entries. But the overall strategies I'm looking to play is support resistance and market structure. Really, the idea is that I'm looking to follow momentum and make sure I'm taking trades where I would expect that momentum to continue, if that makes sense. So, for example, if you've got an uptrend in the market, I'm looking for areas where that uptrend is likely to continue. So back at a low here, this is where I'm looking to find opportunities for trades or retest of a high, for example. Um, Retest of a high, for example, and then I'm looking for continuations, and then I'm looking to see how price reacts with these levels. If I've seen wicks, rejections, bullish engulfing candles, I'm looking for bounces at these areas. Of course, I'm looking for healthy reactions as well. Pretty much all of my trades will be from the 50% of the fib and below. So that's where I'm looking to get involved, where price is at, quote unquote discount. We've seen enough of a pullback where price is likely to continue. And 90% of the time as well, I'm looking to trade in the line of, excuse me, just sneezed, in line of the higher time frames as well. So I'm using a lot of higher time frame bias to back up my lower time frame trades. So I'm trading the 4 hour, but I've got momentum in my favor on the daily, weekly chart, and if I can get it on the monthly as well, that's great. But yeah, that's effectively how I trade. But of course, a lot to do is experience as well, knowing which trades are better than others. But effectively, that's how I'm looking to take my trades. Yes, Devon, it will be still available. The 50% coupon discount will still be available. Do not worry at all. Okay, so yeah, the discount will still be available. If you guys are not in the Discord, by the way, make sure you go check it out. Link to that is at the top of the chat and also in the description below. You can find your code to getting 50% off. You can also join the community, chat with other traders, including myself there, look at different opportunities that you're looking to trade and discuss the markets as well. So if you are interested, make sure you check it out. Link to that in the description below and also in the top of the chat. And if you guys are joining the stream as well, please make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you do hit the bell as well. It does really help out the streams, helps grow the channel. So I really do appreciate everyone who has liked and subscribed. And of course, hit the bell too if you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But yeah, at the moment, silver is definitely my guy right now. This is my preferred opportunity. So that's kind of where I'll be focusing my efforts around 30.040. It's not too far away, actually. So I could actually see a setup form later today or maybe tomorrow. I'm not really too concerned about the CPI tomorrow. I know that can move the market quite a bit. But I'm happy where I'm trading as well. So I don't really mind that too much. And yeah, if I get an entry today or tomorrow morning, I'll happily look to take it. Of course, I'm always going to manage my risk. So, worst case scenario, take a loss, but it'll be pre-managed. So, nothing to worry about too much. But in terms of the analysis, in terms of the setup, fits the plan pretty well. Again, I was initially looking for a swing back to the high, but now that's not the case anymore. Given that we've had such a big move, given that we've broken underneath this level, and also given that gold's gone and broke structure, it's an indication that gold probably isn't going to swing back to the high in one move now. Gold's probably going to keep pushing down for a little while. So that probably means silver's going to push down for a little while too. So I'm just going to be looking for a push back into the high here, retest of that big level there at 32.3-ish. If I can get the trade back into that level, that's a great trade in itself. I'll probably call it quits there. I'll be trading along the way, but that's where I'll probably call it a day. FTT futures prop firm rug pulled hard. There's another rug pull. I'm not aware of that. Which one's FTT? Yeah, I'm not too sure which one that one is. Chris, yeah, take some experience and patience for trades to come to you. Yeah. Again, trading is not a get rich quick scheme. It's get rich slow as well. So, the lower time frames are fast, bit more pace. You get more opportunities. You get into trades quicker. You make profit quicker. So there's definitely a very attractive, proposition trading the lower time frames. And sometimes people just don't trade the higher time frames because they take a little bit longer. But there's still a lot of money to be made there. Still profitable opportunities there. You might want to trade a little bit more pairs on the lower time frames. You might focus on 5 or 6, but maybe if you're trading the higher time frames, you're focusing on a little bit more. But the idea is you're still looking for the best opportunity. And I trade about 31 pairs. And there's more than enough opportunities there as well. And I don't even trade indices yet. And then that list will grow some more as well. So, there's more than enough opportunities on the higher time frames. Yes, for a particular pair, you'll wait a while. But if you're looking at 30 pairs in one go or 20 pairs in one go, there's always going to be an opportunity that's about to set up somewhere. So you don't have to worry too much about waiting around because there's always going to be opportunity on the horizon. And it allows you to do other things as well. Like if you are working, if you're a student, other commitments, high time frames do give you the time, flexibility to work around that. Of course, you can do that with lower time frames as well. But the idea of lower time frames is that you probably want to block out a section of your day where you're exclusively trading. Whereas the swing trading, you can kind of work around that. If you're not free in the morning, you can monitor trades in the afternoon and vice versa. So there's pros and cons to all types of trading. It's really just about whatever suits your situation the best, really. Oh, really? Wow. Fast track trading. Okay, yeah, I think I've heard of them, to be honest. Wow, yeah, unfortunate to them. Unfortunate to them. Yeah. I mean, again, each firm is going to be run specifically and differently as well. But if that's the case with them, then that's the case with them. Very unfortunate though, because of course a lot of traders will be affected, and that's really the downside of it as well. Especially people who just bought challenges with them. But I do think the prop space is definitely on its way up though, because looking back like a year or so, or about a year, very, very turbulent, very, very rocky place. Okay, they're refunding all active accounts. Okay, that's good because there's been some where they've just kind of packed up shop and just left everyone standing, which is not particularly great. Seeing the yen pairs. So yen pairs, there could be some really nice moves with the yen pairs going forwards, especially euro yen and dollar yen. So that's kind of where I'm keeping a very close eye because euro yen to me, if I go to the weekly chart in particular, massive lower high to the left, massive high over there. There's your right shoulder. Possibly this could be the area where we see a really big move to the downside from. So I'm not saying it's confirmed yet. I like last week's candles close with that bearish candle there, but it's kind of just dancing on that level there. So I want to see a bit more downside before I really commit to the shorts with euro yen. And if I drop to the 4-hour chart, it does look like a head and shoulder pattern is slowly brewing up here on the 4-hour. Kind of got the left over here, the head there, and of course that's kind of the right shoulder I'm looking for. So that to me looks like a nice opportunity. It's slowly brewing up and taking shape there for euro yen. I just need to see the retest of this area here for the short. It'd be nice if you can break structure there too, but we'll see how things develop. But either which way, it looks to me that price is struggling to sustain prices up here. It's been very, very corrective anyway. It looks to me that price is now potentially getting ready for a big sell. So for the yen pairs, I'm actually gearing up towards the sells. They're not quite there yet, so that's why I'm not necessarily looking for the opportunity. Dollar yen, I like the shorts as well, but they've still been pretty bullish. So if I scoot over to dollar yen, you can see this one's still being pushed into the upside as well. So I can't look for shorts yet until I get that indication, breakthrough support, and then I can look for some short-term opportunities on the retest of that low. Let me just remove some of these lines to clear it up. And then this will become a nice opportunity later on. But again, we're nowhere near forming that yet. So no real opportunity for me on the euro, on the yen pairs just yet. I can see a nice swing opportunity for them. If I go to the weekly chart, you can see where dollar yen is trading. It looks like we're trying to break through that level. I'm not going to judge that bullish candle at the moment because it's still early on. Still got 3 days left until that candle does close. 2 previous candles have been dojis. Could see that happen again. But yeah, if we do break the floor there, I do expect us to really sell off. So there could be some big swings for the yen pairs, but at the moment, I'm not gonna, not gonna force anything now. Wow, 144K in payouts and total 400K in profits. That is a lot. Wow. Gerald, what's up? Interest caught your eye on the 6-month time frame. Wow. Accumulation pattern. Can we dissect that? Hi everyone. What's up, Gerald? Okay, I'll have a quick look. Not often that I look at the 6-month time frame. I'll tell you that for free. But we'll have a look. See. I mean, yeah, we are at some prices where I do think we'll probably have a big sell. This area here in particular is kind of where I do think we'll sell off because we've had a big dip, pull back, another big dip, pull back, another big dip, and now we're kind of just moving a bit sideways. So maybe price is getting ready for a big push up to the upside at some point. Maybe we are kind of just accumulating and prices are getting ready to shift direction. But naturally, this is bearish territory for me. So I'm not going to expect that breakout until I see that breakout happen. And what I mean by that is once we've broken out, then I'll speak about possibly continuations and more upside. But this, for me, is still bearish territory on dollar yen. So I would still be looking at a reaction to the downside. It might not take us all the way to the low, maybe back to this area here, and then we push back up again. Who knows? That's a long, long way into the future because after all, this is the 6-month time frame. Imagine 2 candles just 1 year. That's crazy. But this is still bearish territory for me. So I would be looking at downside here for dollar yen. If we were to get a break, then of course, maybe we are going to see a big move to the upside and price is going to change direction. But I'll read into that when it does happen. So far, I'm still pretty bearish at these prices. But yeah, what made you look at the 6-month chart? That is some big time frames. Lauder, ready long euro yen and CTJ may be early to the party, but we shall see. Yeah, we have seen a lot of momentum, to be honest, with the yen pairs. They are still slowly grinding higher. I'm looking for the big sell, but Need price to break structure first for that. And CHF JPY probably is the better one in my opinion in terms of because we had a nice retest of that low around here. Did you enter this morning, Lauder, on that retest there? I'd watch out for that level there because I think that looks like a nice short 175.5. But from a nice level, I have to admit. What are your targets with them? Are you looking for a big swing trade back to the highs or looking for a day trade? Annie, yes, I do. Well, of course, there are other people running the firm, but yeah, I am the CEO. That is me. That is I. Tom, okay, same here. Payout day, take out everything. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. No problem. Happy to help. Okay, normally look for swing trades. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the risk to reward, if it does continue, it's definitely is there. Wow, CHF JPY is really pushing. Is CHF strong or is yen weak? Let me take a look at pound yen. What are we doing there for pound yen? Can't spell today. There we go. Okay, pushing up a little bit. CAD yen, what we doing? Not much there. Is it CHF? Let me have a look at CHF market. Yeah, CHF is definitely a bit strong right now. I like that actually because that might mean that New Zealand CHF might see a nice opportunity for me because I'm looking to buy down here. But yeah, I think CHF JPY looks the best out of the end pairs in terms of the buyers because we kind of already had a big break to the upside. So it looks like we're probably getting ready to push a lot higher. I appreciate that, Annie. Appreciate that. If you guys are looking to sign up with Elevating Traders, of course, you can head over to the website, which is elevatingtraders.com. We at the moment working to get some more payment providers because at the moment we do have some, but they're more tailored towards crypto. And of course, a lot of people don't use crypto at the moment. So we're looking to add card payments as well, which will be coming very, very soon. So watch out for that. But you can head over to the Elevate Traders Academy. There's a complete free course there for the community as well, done by myself, of course. Yours truly, which you can check out. The link to that is just Elevating Traders. Actually, let me go get the link to that before I mix up the correct link. Okay, copy and paste that. So yeah, this is the link to the academy, which you can check out, completely free to join. Got a free course there in technical analysis. So if you're looking for some guidance, feel free to sign up and check out the academy as well. Yeah, possibly we could be seeing a big breakout there for dollar yen as well. What, are you looking to trade it on a 6 month time frame, or is that just like you looking for the overall trend or the overall direction of the market? But yeah, you're definitely right. DXY is looking pretty bullish. Again, DXY is looking bullish, but we're coming up to some big areas where we could turn around. So that's kind of where I'll be a bit careful with the DXY because, yes, we've seen a lot of upside. We've been absolutely flying. But these are prices where I do think sellers will be sitting. And if we are going to sell off, these are the levels where I do think price will see some downside. Of course, maybe we do just keep pushing, we get the big breakout. If that's the case, then I think dollar's probably going to push all the way back to the high, at 114. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity there for USD to push higher, but we've got two big levels we need to break through before I do buy into that. And yes, that could be the move, but I want to see us break through the levels first. At the moment in time, since we're trading there, this is bearish territory on the higher time frames for me, so I would be anticipating price at least reacting, seeing some downside from one of these two levels. And that's what I'll keep an eye out for regarding USD. But yeah, until I see price break through them, I'm not quite sold on the long-term USD bias. If we do break, yeah, of course, this is kind of where the next big level is for me anyway. So that's what I expect us to push into. But given where we're trading, this is more bearish territory, so I would expect to see a reaction here. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But you're definitely right. USD is bullish. It's just, will that sustain at these prices? So far, looks to be, but things can change pretty quickly. We've got CPI on Friday as well, so we'll be a little bit careful. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. If you're looking to follow a trend, you can't really go wrong with that. Of course, you're not gonna look to win every trade, but if you generally look to follow trends, let the risk reward play for itself. That's the direction to play it. But yeah, dollar's got some levels it needs to break through first before I'm sold on the longs. 105 800 and 107 200 roughly. Andreas, big drop, dollar seat chef hourly. Okay, we'll take a look. All right, see you tomorrow, Holy One. Have a good one. Take care. Yeah, it looks like C Chef is a bit strong then, because yeah, that's why dollar C Chef is having a little bit of a meltdown here. Yeah, very, very strong close. Very strong close. It's not much to the grand scheme of things, but it might be a sign that price is ready to put a top in and have a bit of a pullback. But yeah, I'll be a bit wary how far we go. We might just come back to retest structure before keep pushing. So I'd watch out for that. But yeah, CHF is definitely looking a little bit strong. So hopefully I can get that New Zealand CHF long opportunity some point this week. But yeah, at the moment, silver's my main focus. So that's where my focus will lie. If I do get an opportunity in silver, I'll make sure I let you guys know and we'll discuss. But yeah, guys, that has taken us to the end of the stream. If you have found it useful, please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Make sure you do check out the Elevating Traders Discord channel. Completely free to join. You can find the link to that at the top of the chat and also in the description below. You can join the community, chat with other traders, look at different opportunities, include myself there as well. And of course, you can find your discount codes there for 50% off your next Elevating Traders challenge. But guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. Have a great Tuesday. And of course, I'll be live every day this week. So I will see you all when I see you. But take care, guys. Have a good one.